Category time. Player 2, it's your call. The category is When Pet Lovers Go Too Far. $3,000 for this one. Think fast. In an effort to be fair to your pets, you're considering vacation spots suggested by your cat. If you want to go to an English-speaking country, which of his choices should you pick? Mali, Malawi, Oman, or Myanmar? Player 2, grab it. They speak English in Malawi. And they have great accommodations there, too. A little bowl of milk at night, and they scratch you under the chin. Quite nice. Your pick, Player 2. How about it? Okay, give it up for Will Work for Mana, and it's worth $2,000 if you get this one right. Hey, in today's world of corporate downsizing, anyone could find themselves panhandling next week, even figures from the Old Testament. You're at a stoplight and you see Isaac's son Esau by the roadside with a sign asking for food. Considering his actions in the Bible, which message might you expect to see on the sign? We'll kill brother for food, we'll spy on drunk naked father for food, we'll trade inheritance for food, or we'll wrestle God for food. Take a shot, Player 2. Esau gave his birthright and inheritance to his younger brother Jacob in exchange for some lousy stew. Well, I guess it wasn't so much lousy stew as it was a bucket filled with soapy water and a squeegee. Player 2, give me something. May I introduce the suffocation of an 80s band? Looks like this one's going for $1,000. Remember that Air Supply song, I'm All Out of Love? Well, if Air Supply were also all out of air, which of these elements would the band not have lost? Neon, krypton, nitrogen, or calcium? All yours? Actually, there are traces of krypton in the air. I wonder if Superman suffers from some kind of environmental disorder. Ball's in your court, player. There is no calcium in the air, so the band could not have lost that element. But if the name of the band were Milk Supply... Your turn, Player 2. What's it gonna be? Well, what do we have here? The great Latin lover, Tom Selleck. And you pocket $2,000 if you get this one. Just step up and take a swing at this one. If you were to ask Magnum P.I. about his magnum opus, about what would he most likely tell you? His favorite handgun, his evil twin IP Mungam, his greatest case, or his pet penguin? Player 1, magnum opus translates to great work, so Magnum would be telling you about his greatest case. Although on some episodes, the mustache is the best thing going. Player 1, Ante Up. You don't wanna blow it on number 5. This little number's known as, it's a word, it's a plan, it's... Get it right, I'm handing over $2K. Remember the electric company? Well, you'll need to in order to figure out this analogy. Superman is to tall buildings as Letterman is to what? Capital T, rolling O, silent E, or pinheads at GE? Bet you wish you'd pick this. Just as Superman's able to leap tall buildings in a single bound, Letterman can do the same thing with capital T's. Now, if they can only get Terry Hatcher to play Letterman's wife, I'd be watching Electric Company every day. Player 1, tell me what's happening. This one likes to go by, possession is 9/10 of the law. $1,000 if you get it. Okay, class, now that I've got your attention, it's time for Morality 101. Tell me what fairy tale you would learn this lesson from. If you live a destitute and squalid life or just a little bit stupid, steal a person's belongings and then murder him, from then on you will live happily ever after. So, which fairy tale teaches this? The old woman who lived in a shoe, Jack and the Beanstalk, Hansel and Gretel, or Goldilocks and the Three Bears? Player 1, hit. Jack was stupid enough to exchange his cow for some magic beans. Then when the beanstalk grew, he stole the giant stuff and then chopped down the beanstalk, killing him. Today, this would be called aggressive career management. Player 1, give me a category.
Hey, look over there. It's question 7.
Well, looks like this category is Vox Locks Knox Ox. How does $2,000 sound? You know, I've always wanted one of those voice ID locks where just by speaking, a computer identifies you and lets you in. Wouldn't that be sweet? Imagine that Mel Blanc, the great voice artist, had a voice identification lock on his front door. If it could identify all of the voices he did, who would not be able to get into his house? Tweaky the Robot, Kit from Knight Rider, Tweety, or Barney Rubble? Player 2. The only character listed whose voice Mel Blanc didn't do is that car, equally at home in Le Mans and Mensa, Kit. But Kit could probably just ram through the door, which just goes to prove that no home security device can keep out a car that really wants to get in. I wonder what player 2's gonna pick. Uh-oh, wet suck tit shine floor.
It's time for a licorice espresso.
Take a look at your gibberish category. I wouldn't let my dog eat it. I'm going to open the value of this gibberish question at $5,000. Now check it out. As the time disappears, so does the money. So the sooner you buzz in, the better. All right, have a taste of this and see if you can tell me what it rhymes with. Phallus chow? Joy! We're feeders. And don't let those exclamation points throw you off. First clue, it's a famous group of women. You know, like the Go-Go's. It's a famous group of women usually seen at football games. Your move, player 2. The Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders may not have contributed much to the team's success, but I have to say that over the years, they've had some of the best tight ends in the NFL. You have the honors, player 2.
Reinovi is number 9.
The selection is Bummer. I'm giving out $3,000 for a right answer. Let's see if you can wrap your head around this. Geographically speaking, if you are down in the dumps in the doldrums, where are you? Lying in a scrap heap in the Mojave Desert, shivering in a landfill in Siberia, floating in a trash can near the equator, or scattered in the refuse along an alpine trail?
Whoa, whoa!
Make your move, player. The doldrums is an area of calm winds near the equator. I went on a South American cruise once. Now, that was like floating in a garbage can near the equator. The food was okay, though. Player 2, take your pick. Oh yeah, baby, it's the moment you've always dreamt of. It's time for a three-way. Okay, let me briefly explain here. You're gonna see a three-way like this one. If you buzz in when the correct member of the three-way is lit up, it's $1,000 in the bank. But be careful, if you don't make a correct match, you'll lose some cash every time you're wrong. But don't be misled, this question may or may not have anything to do with the three-way as a group. Alright, let's get this party rolling. This little three-way likes to call itself Interpreting the Simpsons, which means we're going to be using the three-way of Bart, Lisa, and Maggie. Well, good luck, and don't worry, I'll still respect you when this is over.
Oh, yes! Oh, yes! Oh, yes! Oh, yes! Oh, yes! Oh, yes! Oh, yes!
Okay, we're stripped down to our skivvies. Looks like that's all we got. Let's see how you scored. Player one, that was pretty damn sad, and yet you still beat out the competition, if you can call it that. Anyway, let's see the overall scores. All right, player two, ride that wave, baby. You know, as much as I'd like to cuddle, it's time to get on with the game, okay? One down, round two to go. Let's get on it. This is when I hand out the screws, so let me get those. Let's see. Scratch test, screenplays. Screws. Here you are. One more thing, don't be afraid of those screws. You got them for a reason. If you want to force your partner there to answering the question, just buzz in, slap the S key. Got it? Now get in there and screw with abandon. Player one, it's up to you. What's next? And I believe this one's called In the Days Before McDLT. 4,000 big ones for a right answer here. Hungry? You will be. Get ready to fill in the missing links. 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, blank, 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 blank on a sesame seed bun. Lettuce, onions, pickles, cheese, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions, onions, lettuce, cheese, pickles, or lettuce, pickles, cheese, onions. Layer 1, lettuce, pickles, cheese, onions. Oh, nuts. Take 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. The famous jingle for a McDonald's Big Mac. In other words, 2 slabs of meat on some bread. Your pick, player 2. How about it? Coming at you. I'm not a god, but I am the Thigh Master. $2,000 for a correct answer. Let's see how you handle this one. Suppose that exercising on a Nordic track not only got you into great shape, but actually made you a Nordic god. Which of the following could you become during a workout? Odin, Allah, Mars, or a golden calf? Player 2, it's your... Odin is the supreme Nordic deity. I've never turned into Odin, but after a tough workout, I'm usually Thor in the morning. Category time. Player 2, it's your call.
Swing your partner 1 and 3. A do-si-do for the big 13.
Here we have, I still get him mixed up with Orson. How does $4,000 grab you? Hey, remember the Federal Express slogan when it absolutely positively has to be there overnight? If FedEx delivered exclusively to the time traveler in H.G. Wells' time machine, how would its famous when it absolutely positively slogan end? Has to be there in 1 million BC, has to be there in the year 1286, has to be there in the year 1974, or has to be there in the year 802-701? All yours? 1 million BC. For that one, alley-oop, I'm going to have to take away some of your rocks. Balls in your... Take it. The time traveler in the time machine discovers what society is like in the year 802-701. But hey, if I want my packages to get somewhere in the year 802701, I'll just use the freaking postal service. Your turn, player 2. What's it gonna be? This category's known as Santa Claus Ain't Feeling His Elf These Days. $2,000 says you don't know this one. Hey, can Santa Claus call in sick? Consider this. Santa Claus is running a fever and Mrs. Claus won't let him deliver his toys this year. Because he also says ho ho ho, which product spokes figure could fill in for him? The Hamburger Helper Helping Hand, the Pillsbury Doughboy, the Jolly Green Giant, or Mr. Whipple? Player 1. That's right, little sprout. Ho, 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 the Jolly Green Giant will be stuffing your stocking this year. Hope you like creamed corn. Player 1, your choice. What are we doing?
15th floor, lingerie, housewares, and useless trivia.
Shake hands with. I can't get this damn song out of my head. And it's worth $2,000 if you get this one right. All right, we all remember the Bible tale of Cain and Abel, right? Well, suppose God had wanted to make Cain's life in exile even worse than it was. Considering Cain's punishment, which song would have been most appropriate to play over and over in his head? The Cars' Drive, Dion's The Wanderer, Christopher Cross's Sailing, or Kim Carnes' Betty Davis Eyes? All yours, player 1. Cain was forced to leave the fields he farmed and wander the land. This, of course, is the Bible's parable for why God created the Walkman. Player 1, hit me with the category. All right, player 1, are you ready for the challenge? Player 2, spend some quality time with yourself on this one, because player 1's going to take on a dis or dat. The category for this dis or dat question is spokesperson or corporate fake-out. Hey, I'm going to read off 7 product icons, and for each one, you need to tell me, is it a real person or a made-up character? If you think it's a real person, press 1. If you think it's a made-up character, press 2. And press 4 if you want to skip. You get $1,000 for each right answer, and I'll take $1,000 away for a wrong answer or for one you didn't get to. Okay, can I have 30 seconds on the clock, please? And we're off. Orville Redenbach, a real person or made-up? Mrs. Paul. Sarah Lee. Ben and Jerry. Betty Crocker. Aunt Jemima. Last one, Duncan Hines. This is it. That's all she wrote. You missed 3, but you got 4. Whoop-de-doo. All right, let's see your new total. Could be worse. Your score could be going down. In fact, it still might. Let's find out. You have the honors, player 2.
Number 17.
This one's called, I've got your Yardarm right here, little buddy. Get a right answer, you're walking away with $4,000. Hope you brought your suit. It's time to get wet. If the SS Minnow hoisted a yellow flag before grounding on that uncharted desert isle, what would that signify to other sailors? Ship foundering, send help. Cygnus aboard, send doctor. Mechanical problems, send engineer. Or out of lemons for gin and tonic, send fruit. Player, you picked send help. Oh, how I do so enjoy life's little ironies. Make your move, player 2. Should have picked this. A solid yellow flag called a yellow jack tells other sailors that the ship is carrying infectious disease, or that Gilligan has wet his hammock again. Player 1, Ante Up. Now serving, I have Le Munchies. Play your cards right, you win $4,000. Who's got the Munchies? If you had to hunt for a bag of ruffles in the same way the French hunt for truffles, what would you need? A radar-equipped aircraft, a sonar-equipped boat, a specially trained dog or pig, or a metal detector? Player 1, truffles are an underground fungus often considered a delicacy and found with the aid of truffle-sniffing dogs or pigs. So if you get one of them police-trained dogs, they can lead you to the drugs and to the Munchies. Let's have a category, Player 1.
Step right up for question 19.
Open wide and get ready for Deaf in One-Ear Leopard. You get 4,000 clams for this one. Okay, now it's time to get your eyes ready for a picture. Look closely at this snapshot from a heavy metal concert. You know, Mom always said that music would make you go deaf. In American Sign Language, what is this heavy metal concert goer telling the band? You guys rock! I love you! One more time! Or, look out! Bull stampede! Player 1. In American Sign Language, this sign combines the letters I, L, and Y, or I love you.
Thanks, guys, but I'm just not ready for that kind of commitment.
Player 1, your choice. What are we doing?
Question number 20.
Say hello to I Care of the Tiger. Get it right, I'm handing over 2K. Put your tray in the upright position, it's time for takeoff. Imagine researchers determined that all those hours of staring at MTV in the 1980s had devastating effects on our eyesight. What might their study have been called? Hemorrhoidal hooters, myopic men at work, crowded house of cirrhosis, or kyphosis in the neck? All yours, kyphosis in the neck. Kyphosis is curvature of the spine, and you know, good girls don't, with humpbacks. Balls in your court, player. Player 2, myopia is nearsightedness. Yeah, myopic men at work, you remember them. They had that big hit in the 80s. Who can I see now? Player 2, give me something. Gather round, friends. It's attack time, and I got a clue for you. Would you like to touch my primate? And I don't just ask anybody that question. Only really special players like you. You're huge! I want to touch you! But let's see your final score! It's player 2! Player 1, it's not that you lost to player 2 in such a devastating manner. It's not that you can never show your face around here again. Let's just say that